The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to She Is Shenomenal. I am your host, Tasha Champion, the Shenomenal coach of champion empowerment. Always teaching you to love the champion you are. And we are here. It's the final She Is Shenomenal of 2022. I cannot believe how fast this time has gone by. Now, if you were with me last week, I was saying that we were going to have some women on showcasing some of their products for Christmas shopping, but we had a shift and shifts happen. But I do have a very special guest for you guys today. Now, normally I use this time to, just kind of talk about some things that are going on, maybe in the world, maybe in my life. First of all, shout out, rest in peace to Twitch. That was a very hard loss. I've seen a lot of posts today. But we're going to talk today about your 2023. Your new year is here. How you do your new year, how you process your new year, what you call into your new year, that's going to be different for everybody. But me and my guest, Mika Morris, we are here to really give you some guidance and some ways that you can have what you want in 2023, as well as what do you need to do with 2022. Now, if you were following me last year on New Year's Eve, I sent out a post that kind of guided you on writing a letter to yourself dated for December 31st of 2022. And if you guys wrote those letters, it's going to be a great time to pull that out and read it and see how far you've come. If not, then you're going to do that this year on December 31st for next year. All right. So just to go ahead and get started, because there's going to be a lot to talk about today, we're going to go ahead and bring in my wonderful Shenomenal Keep It Real guest, life vision coach, Mika Morris. Hello, darling.
Hi, Tasha.
How are you?
I'm here. Thank
Yes.
God.
Thank God.
We all are here. Thank God we're here. So it's a blessing to be back with you.
It's a blessing to always have you. I mean, I know I always tell people how we met. Long story short, she originally started as a client, and the day we met, we knew we had a lasting friendship. And we've been rocking our friendship, sisterhood for the past 11 years now. Mika ended up being a co-author, and it was so sweet because I called and I said, I am writing this book and I want to bring on other people. She was like, I'm in. I didn't have to tell her about it. Like, friendship just showed up. She was like, I'm in. And her story was just powerful. It has really changed a lot of lives. I actually just recommended her chapter today for someone who's dealing with the loss of a child recently. And I just referred them to her chapter to really walk through how she was able to endure life, how she was able to let go of the anger and tell God what she wanted from her loss, how she wanted to live life and how she went through that. So if you have not gotten Shenomenal Women, first of all, side-eyeing you. But pick up
Exactly.
Phenomenal Women today and make sure you read all the chapters. But if you know someone that's dealing with loss and they need a way to help them endure, to find out ways to get through it, her chapter is a go-to. It is a must.
Thanks, Tasha.
Absolutely. All right. So we're just going to like kick the door down and start talking about 2023, 2022. What do we need to do to close out this year, to show gratitude to this year, to learn from this year? And then what are some things that we need to do for 2023? Like, you know, we always talk about up leveling, taking on your challenges, calling in the things that you want, manifesting, but what does that actually really look like, feel like, taste like? What do you need to do? So we're going to hopefully give you guys application today, things that you can apply to your life starting today, moving forward, to call in the things that you want, and also to let go. Some of y'all are holding on to things that you cannot take into your 2023 or that you shouldn't. So Mika, first of all, I'm going to start with loss, because we carry that. The world just lost Twitch. She was the DJ on Ellen. And I'm not going to sit here and speculate on if he had mental health or what he was dealing with. At the end of the day, it's a life loss. And for someone to feel that taking their life is the only way means that something was heavy on them. So Tamika, as people are ending out this year, what are some ways they can deal with any grief? We know that, you know, grief is a journey, it's a cycle. It's not that it leaves you, but what are some ways that people can support themselves and others with grief?
So it's interesting that you start the question with me speaking about loss when clearly anybody could be sitting here, yourself, myself included. We all have had to deal with loss at some point in our lives, whether it was a child, spouse, grandparent. And it's always tricky around this time of the year. You know, you recently lost your dad, you know, so it, only thing I can say, and this is just from experience, is that be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others who are experiencing loss. Loss looks different to everybody. The way we all deal with it is different. The way we want to come together and bring each other, you know, closer or apart from each other, it looks different. Like sometimes we just got to sit back and allow people to just be and say, I'm here. You know, just be there for one another in any capacity. Now, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. Some of us are, you know, will say quickly, I'm here for you if you need anything. And then when I call you to do laundry or I call you because I need some food, and then I'm too busy. Well, be careful what you ask for. If you're going to say you're going to be there for someone, be there however they need you to be there, because that's what's most important. When you're dealing with loss, I know for me, it was loss. Loss is a part of life. Okay. I'm beginning to understand that. And I hope that we can start to have those conversations where we all start to understand that we live and then we die. That's a part of, you know, it's all in the Bible. It's not, none of us are getting out alive. So how do we deal with that? Again, let's focus on the life that we have. Let's focus on the time and the memories that we've had. I've started to do an altar for my ancestors. It's so many different ways you can do it though. And everything that I could offer may not work for you. What you have to do is sit with yourself quietly and say, hey, I need something. And whatever I'm doing right now is not working. And let spirit guide you. Because it may be that you do an altar for your loved one, or it may be that you play music and songs that, you know, gave you the memories of your loved one. Maybe it's that you cook a meal in honor of your loved one. I know in my family, we've been planning this trip for my aunt who passed away some years ago. And we've yet to make the trip, but we talk about the trip. So even talking about the trip is like a blessing. And I know that one day when we actually make the trip, it's going to be so worth the wait, you know? So again, I would say just be easy with yourself. Take it one day at a time. Don't have any expectations of yourself. Grieve the way that you need to, but keep living. Find ways to live. Find ways to honor them. Find ways to, because I know with some deaths, we like to place blame. Find ways to forgive.
Ooh, that's
Find ways to forgive, because forgiveness is a heavy tool to carry around. And it's one of those things that everybody else is moving on and you're like stuck. So definitely find a way to forgive. Light candles, find traditions. We don't have many in our Black culture because they brought us here or however we got here, but we didn't come with culture. We didn't come with rituals. So
right.
make your own. Make your own.
I love that. I love that. That because we can use rituals for so many things. So
Yes.
let's move into using these rituals to close out your 2022. What are some things that people should reflect on? And when I say reflect, I don't mean go down a rabbit hole where now you can't get unstuck from your 2022. But what are some ways, how can we reflect on 2022 that's going to help us and support us in moving powerfully into our 2023?
I love how you started the show with writing yourself a letter. Okay, that's a great way to reflect. Like in your letter, be honest with your highs, your lows, with what, talk to you and be honest with you and be transparent with you. And then after you write your letter and of reflection, then write your goals letter, and say, well, these are the things that happened, these are the things that didn't happen, these are the things that I could have excelled in, didn't excel in. But these are the things that I'm going to excel in, and say you're going to, because you are. It
Right.
may not be in your timing, but write it down, write the vision, make it plain. That's what the Bible says. Once you write it, it's already on paper. The universe is already conspiring to give you exactly what you said you wanted. But sometimes we want to be in control of it. Write it down, let it go. Write it
Listen,
down and
I'm
let it
gonna
go.
bring you in control. Y'all know I have
Yeah,
little control issues sometimes, so we're not gonna
we
attack.
all do.
We do, and taking that letter another step forward in writing your goals. Remember to write them as though you have already achieved them.
Period. It's done.
It's done. So
Mhm.
be in the energy, be in the spirit of already having what you claim, already like feeling the energy of receiving and having the things that you want out of life. Like it's so possible. And I know that just even starting from childhood, we're taking out of our imagination, we're taking out of
Yeah.
our visions. We have parents saying like, oh my God, you can't do that. Teachers telling kids they can't do certain things, but you got to go within. What is it that you really want? Now, Mika brought up a good point in writing down your goals. So Mika, let's talk about how do we break down those goals? Because people get overwhelmed when they write down their goals and they see it as a vision, they see it as happening, but then the way is where they start getting stuck. Well, how is this going to happen? And I know that it's because so many people see only the goal, but they're not focusing on the steps to get there and celebrating that. So let's talk about and unpack that a little bit. What are some ways that we can look at our goals and then comfortably take steps towards it?
Okay, I'm going to say it in the most simplistic way that I can think of. Okay, your goal is to lose 25 pounds. Okay, it's your big birthday year. It's January. Everyone starts off that I'm going to lose weight goal. Okay, here's the deal. Stop making it so big. You say, I want to walk for an hour a day. Walk for 5 minutes a day. And then when 5 minutes seem too little, walk further the next day, and so forth and so forth. The next thing you know, here you are at your hour, and you haven't even recognized it because you now have the energy to just keep going further and further and further. And pretty much that's what, moving into your higher being is about. It's literally just taking it one step at a time.
Mhm.
And because we make the goal so big, we get frustrated and so we stop. So if you're going to make a goal like a weight loss goal, or I want to do this goal, just start. Start somewhere and give yourself credit for that somewhere. Okay. And then the next day, start from that somewhere too, and keep going and keep going and keep going. Okay. Um, I would do that. I would break my goals down just that. We can get really overwhelmed in our head with our visions for ourselves.
Mhm.
So make it easy for yourself so that you can feel a sense of accomplishment. And once you feel a sense of accomplishment, you're attracting more of that into your life. But the minute that you feel defeated, you're attracting that also. So you're
Right.
always attracting wherever you're at. So if you're doing a little bit, give yourself credit for that little bit and keep going. Just never stop.
Right. And I want to also add that, as you, like she said, you want to lose weight, you want to walk an hour, you start with 5 minutes, celebrate those 5 minutes.
Yes.
One thing that I see a lot when people are like, let's keep with the weight loss here. They want to lose 25 pounds and they'll lose two. And they don't celebrate that because it's not
Mhm.
25. Damn it, you lost
Mhm.
2 pounds. You better
Mhm.
jump up and down, celebrate to your favorite song, dance, whatever. You have to still celebrate those goals. And then
Yep.
I see a lot of people minimizing their accomplishments. So they'll say, like,
Mhm.
well, I'm not where I want to be, but. So then we've just minimized all the work that we've done towards
Yes.
reaching our goals. Like, don't minimize it. You celebrate every single step,
Every step of the way.
every step of the way. Um, so another thing that I feel like people struggle with are the things that they say. And you and I have had many a conversations. Y'all just don't know. And I'm preparing for an event to meet this. I mean, she's on my phone like constantly because I'm like, oh God, I'm thinking of this. And she's like, Tasha, we're not doing that today. And she walks me back and she takes me back out of it, and she fills me back up with encouragement to make sure that I'm saying the right things to myself and
Mhm.
in the energy of it. How can we keep ourselves focused? Like, what are some things we need to be mindful of saying to ourselves about our goals, about our dreams, about what we want, so that we have that proper, that good, positive self-talk?
Um, Interesting that you bring this up. I just had this conversation with my youngest kid. Okay. So that means at every level we're dealing with this. Um, I was like, look, it's a little thing in your head that's telling you what to do that's right. And it's a little thing in your head that's telling you what to do is wrong. Always go to the good. Always go, because that's your God's spiritual space. And Satan uses and the enemy uses different things too and tactics. So words matter. What are you talking about inside that nobody, your self-talk? Make sure you're only listening to the good talk. And when you and we will, we're human.
Mhm.
Um, when we got on this call, I said this has been a rough day. I should never really say that, but I said that. I
Right.
should say today has been a blessing because we're still here. We're all still here. We are all healthy. And but again, so you're going to have those days where your self-talk is off. It's down, I say down in the gutter. Okay? Go back to the top floor. Go back to the top floor. Go immediately, because your spirit, once you start to align your spirit with good things and things that's good for you, and the minute that something that's said to you that's not right, your spirit will say ho ho, and you get to immediately self-correct. Now, that's one way. You self-correcting, you saying, wait a minute, I'm only doing positive speaking to me. I'm only allowing positivity at me or towards me.
Mhm.
Um, get an accountability partner.
Yes.
Get someone that calls you out and say, hey, I know you said you wanted to change in this area. I had this. And let them call you out so that you can say, oh wow, thank you for that. Instead of like now you're mad at them. What are you mad at them for? You made them your accountability partner. And accountability, make sure it's someone you trust that you can respect and actually allow them to hold you accountable,
Mhm.
for some of your things. That's another way you can do it. But mostly start reading things that fill your spirit. Start listening to things that fill your spirit. Start watching things. We got to be careful what we're watching.
Right.
If
Absolutely.
we're always inundated with bad news, negativity, the music that we're listening to, the people that we're around. Surround yourself with people who are doing what you're trying to do, you know? So it's so many ways that you can get into that space where that you understand that your words matter, but you also understand that people around you words matter. You also understand that, hey, I'm raising these kids and I hear how they're talking. Let's have a conversation, kids. Let's only use positivity to talk to each other. I get you're mad, and it's okay to be mad, but let's come up with a different way to say that, right?
Mhm.
So
yeah, and I think it's important that we really start to honor our feelings and teach that to our children. Honor, like, what is it that I feel? What is it that I'm thinking about? What is it that I want to do with this? Because again, and I said this in the post today that I did on Facebook, as children, we are groomed to not discuss or express ourselves. If you're crying, you're being too emotional. Or if you are being extra, oh my God, sit down somewhere. Or maybe, you're told like, if a kid is really excited, you're like, okay, wait, just tell me later. Like, we are really groomed into a way that we don't know to express ourselves, and we grow up with that. And then we get upset when we're unable to then express. So I say all that to say, like, for those who have children, or just even with yourself, go back and talk to that little girl in you and go, you know what? I know you didn't get to use your voice then, but you can use it now. Let's go ahead and talk about the things that you want, because some of y'all are out here believing you can't have the things that you want and desire in life based on something that was said when you were little. And we carry it.
And you know what? Not only going back and talking to that little girl or little boy in you, reframe that whole conversation that stopped you from the get-go. When they told you at 6 you weren't going to be anything, go back and rehab that conversation over in your subconscious and say, you know what? You can be anything you want to be, 6-year-old me.
Yes.
You can be amazing, and go to sleep on that, knowing, and forgive whoever told you that, because they knew not what they was doing.
Exactly. They were probably afraid of
Because if they
create their own
understood,
dreams. Yes.
if they understood the power in what they said to you, they probably wouldn't have said it themselves. However, look, we all know that nobody gave us a guidebook, and we're all doing the best we can, but we screwed up a lot. And so for your adult self, you can actually rewrite all of those things. You can forgive those people and you can move on. So many of us are stuck right there, won't get to the next level because we're holding a grudge. It's poisonous to our bodies. It's poison that, we can't. You just got to forgive people and let them be right where they're at.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about vision boards and having a New Year's resolutions, why New Year's resolutions don't work, why vision boards seemingly don't work, and what you need to do to flip that perspective. So stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, so we are back. Thank you for joining us today. We are here with life vision coach Mika Morris, who is really, to me, just a visionary queen. She showed my kids vision boards that she had and how her life has come to be with things that she wants. She talked to my kids about going into like homes that were being built, and I started doing that with my kids as well. So your vision and what you see for yourself truly does matter. But I also know that a lot of people are like, oh, vision boards don't work. And I don't know why I'm just going to cut out a bunch of pictures and put them on a poster board. Here's the thing, cutting out the pictures, literally, that is the smallest part of a vision board. That's the activity you do with a glass of wine and laughing with your girlfriends. But that's the tiniest part of a vision board. So Mika, talk about why you've done vision boards, how they've supported you in the things that you wanted and desired in your life. Oh, wait, she's muted. I still can't hear her. Mika, can you go out and come back in? Okay, y'all keep telling y'all things happen, but we just keep it rolling. And I am happy to announce, though, that I am, along with Mika, we are going to bring a beautiful vision board party to LA. We are confirming dates and details, but I will have that information for you guys. And like I said, a vision board is so much deeper than just, oh, I'm gonna put some pictures on a poster board. It's about manifesting. It's about understanding how to manifest. It's about excavating your shadows and removing the things that are in your way from having what it is that you want and desire in life. So thank you. We have Ms. Mika Morris back, but we're just talking about vision boards and the manifestation of it so that people can really get a better understanding. And I did drop the little beans that you and I will be planning a beautiful vision board party in Los Angeles. But talk to us about why vision boards have been important in your life and how they have supported your goals and dreams.
Okay, so for me, I think with anything that you do, you have to have a belief in it. Okay. So many of us, yes, we're going to the vision board party. It's cute to post on your Instagram page and you go home and you put the board somewhere and you don't know where it's at. You got to look at that board and you got to see yourself in those pictures that you created for yourself. You got to say that, like, wow, this is the life I really want to start walking into and I want to start becoming. I never didn't think any of my vision boards wouldn't come to pass. So every year, whenever I make them, I just mark off what actually happened. And I'm like overwhelmed at all of the check marks that I wind up putting on my board. So I know a lot of people who do it and they just do it. It's like you said, it's the party, it's the gathering. Everybody loves a good party, but do you believe in it? It's like when you sit at church every week and you don't believe that word that you're confessing. Okay. And it's true for that person. That person always gets blessed. And why don't you? Because you're so busy trying to control your life and the outcome and your work. It's like if I want to go get a house, well, I'll go work 3 jobs because I know I need these 3 paychecks to pay this mortgage. Well, like when I would walk through houses, mansions, and didn't know what job I needed that's how I was thinking when I was doing it. Like, what job do I need to afford this? Well, I don't need a job, to be honest. But we're so conditioned to thinking that's how it has to be for us. So that's why we never get it.
Right. We're too busy trying to control the way, the outcome, and everything else. And it's like, you just have to know what's going to happen.
The minute that you get out of God's way and let God be God, so he can get the credit and the glory for blessing you. And yeah, like, get out of his way. If you're going to do the vision board, do it because you believe that everything on that board is possible for you. Why not? Why can't you be blessed like that?
Hold on, we're going to run that back. Do the vision board because you believe everything on that board is possible for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all how powerful my vision boards have gotten. One day I had a vision board and this lady was on a beach and she looked so calm and peaceful. And I was like, yes, I want that life. So I put her on my board. 5, 6 years later, she was in my house. She was my husband's chef. Like,
Wow.
I looked one day, I said, girl, you're on my vision board. It was crazy.
Wow.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Because
It wasn't.
again, I believe in my vision boards. I believe I can have everything on my vision board.
Right.
Period.
Right. And
So
again,
if you're going to do the vision board, make sure don't get stuff that's attainable for you. Get stuff that God can knock it out the box.
exactly.
Like, wow, God. So then you'll start to believe. Let me do it again and just look at this thing and just sleep on it and just envision myself in it and imagine that yes, I can have that vacation. I can have that home. Yes.
Yes. And then take the time to really think about, like, when you see that picture of something and you're like, could I really have it? Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what's coming up that's making you believe you can't have it?
Period.
Because you got to be able to identify that in order to excavate, in order to pull it out, in order to remove that thought. You know, like one of the things that I heard from one of my business coaches, Jessica Riverson, she said, if God wouldn't say this about you, then it's a lie. It's a lie. So think about the things that you want. If you feel it deep in your spirit, it's because God has already said you can have it.
Period.
Now, let him give it to you. Like, don't fight it. Don't think you can't have it. I know people are just like, but I got to wait until this. You don't have to wait until anything. You have to really believe you can have it. And then that path and that portal will be created.
Everything will open up.
Yes.
Plan the vacation and don't worry about the funds in your account. Don't worry about, oh, income tax time come, I get this money, I can do it. You're still operating in your power. Operate from God's power. You can have whatever you want if you get out of your way. Get out of God's way, basically.
Out of God's way, yes. Now, Mika, do you believe, because there's, you know, come December 31st is going to be a whole lot of posts about this. Do you believe in creating your resolution for the new year? Because I actually read that by February, 80% of people have
Fall off.
They've already fallen off. And we can talk about why. But what's your take or your thoughts on having that New Year's resolution?
I think anybody can do anything they really want to do. Okay. I think we don't really want the resolution to come to pass. I haven't made a resolution that's happened yet, so I'm done with it. However, there is nothing in my life that I don't want to happen to not happen, that it doesn't happen. You understand? So if you said to me, hey, I have this, girl, it's this trip to Bali and it's only $500. No, it's $5,000. Okay, 5,000 to Bali. That seems pretty cheap, right? The airfare, a week's hotel, whatever. I'm not working. I don't have any money, but I've been dreaming of Bali all my life. I guarantee you, if that's what you really want to do, you will figure it out. Okay. And it'll happen. So you can really figure out this resolution thing if you wanted to, but it's kind of a fad at this point. It's like, yeah, make the resolution and fall off. So make the resolution and see how long you're going to fall off. But if you challenge yourself and say, hey, no, I'm going to stick to this and I'm going to do all I can in my power so that God sees how much I'm doing and he's going to do the rest, then it can happen too. But like you said, statistics shows that it doesn't work.
But like going back to your point about talking about like this dream vacation, if you're going to Bali, so you can really focus on that. You can give intention. You can close your eyes and see yourself there. You can go to sleep and dream about it. But if your focus is on, I can't afford that, I don't make enough money for that, let me tell you, you can have all the dreams you want. You are not going.
You've canceled yourself. It's like,
exactly, you already hurt yourself for going.
Yeah, it's like you and I having a conversation and I say yes to everything that you're saying, but, well, the minute that I say but, I canceled out everything that I said. So the minute that you have any doubt or disbelief, you've pretty much told the universe, forget about that one. Forget about that. I don't want that anymore. I want this thing that I'm really focusing on. And what I'm really focusing on is I can't have that because I don't have the funds. And I
Right.
wish I had the money. And I wish I was like those people over there. No, stop wishing yourself out of your stuff. Stop it.
Because, you know, the other thing too is that I want everybody to get is you are worthy of having the things that you want. Regardless to what somebody said, regardless to what you've said to yourself, you really are worthy of having the things that you want. And what happens is, you know, when people, if you tell, let's say you tell somebody your dream, and then the first thing they do is they want to pour on you all of the things you need to look out for. Hold on. I'm just telling you my dream. I need the dream right now. Or you tell somebody your dream and then they try to say, well, you need to start small. Why? You don't have to start small if you don't want to. If your spirit leads you to start a certain way, great. But we got to stop minimizing ourselves and putting ourselves in a box or letting people devalue us so then we devalue ourselves. If
Well,
your dream is big, go big.
let's dig deep into that. The problem is not really the people, because those people exist and they're going to be there.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's go back to where you started with writing yourself the letter. Write the letter. You want to tell somebody, tell your letter, tell your paper, because everything is not everybody's not worthy of your thoughts. You
Mhm.
understand? And sometimes we're so busy needing validation. We need someone to hear it and to tell us, "Oh, way to go, champ." And they're not capable of saying that. So the minute that they don't say it, it's like, wow, I was dreaming too big. No, you weren't. You just probably told the wrong person, when
Yeah.
literally that's between you and God. Let
Yep.
God know the desires of your heart. So that when someone comes, that person says, hey, how you do that? Girl, me and God. I had a conversation with the good father. He's waiting for you to call too.
Wait,
I
let me
mean,
three-way him in because apparently we're gonna
yes.
have a conference call. But that is true. And I think maybe a week or so ago or 2 weeks, I did a post about that because everybody's always saying, like, oh, don't tell people this or don't tell people that. And some of the best advice, some of the best free advice I've gotten has been from people I've shared my dreams and goals. The
Yes.
thing that you have to have is discernment on who
Yes.
you could tell. Because
Who is
again,
worthy to hear that? Because
exactly.
you know,
When you
you know
open
your
yourself up,
cheerleaders.
God will tell you.
You
Mhm.
know your cheerleaders, you know your haters, okay? You know those, what they used to call them signifiers in your life. You know those people. So everybody they can't be happy for you. And it's not about you. They're just not happy for themselves. So you're expecting someone who doesn't really like where they're at in their life to be happy for you. It's not possible.
Mhm.
It's not possible, and it's no disrespect to them. It's no discredit to them. It's just that that's where they're at. So you're probably in their life to just kind of uplift them, and that's it.
Yes.
Because you're looking for them to uplift you. They can't do it, and it's okay. You have a group of people, a mentor, a teacher, a supervisor, a stranger in Starbucks that will gladly do that for you,
Right.
So figure out who those people are in your life. Figure out who your confidants are. Figure out who your cheerleaders are. Figure out who your haters are, because they're your motivators too. You can't wait to show off for them,
And remember, people will project their fears
Yes,
onto you. So if
yes.
your dream is big and they can't see how they could even make their dream come true, guess what? They're going to try to minimize
Mhm.
your dream. And it's not even intentional.
It's not.
They just
It's just
don't know
where
how
they're
to do
at.
it themselves. So
Yep.
that's where they are. All right. So we are going to thank you, Priscilla. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, one of the biggest things, and Mika, you and I have always had this talk. We continue to talk about it as Shenomenal women, guiding women to live Shenomenal lives, is that self-care piece. What I want every woman to do and know is committing and promising themselves that self-care piece for 2020. So stick with us. We'll be right back. we are back. I'm speaking with Amika Morris, and we're just talking about your new year is here. So, what are some things that you can do to call in what you want for 2023 to really get the things that you desire in 2023? And just before break, I was saying what I wanted to definitely talk about is that self-care piece. Now, listen, I'm not discrediting men in any way. All of us need self-care. But I am talking to the women right now because our self-care tends to be, sometimes it's not even on our list. It's not even a priority because we're so busy pouring into giving, doing, and caregiving for everybody else. And by the time we need some time, it's time to go to bed. So let's talk about bringing in, committing to that self-care piece for 2023. What are some things that women need to absolutely do for themselves and commit to it?
I just want to circle back and say, when you mentioned the men, that they also, I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had by all of us, simply because of the loss that we're all experiencing today. I never really kind of watched Ellen that much, but I am aware of the guy who passed today. Look, rest is important, people. Okay, man, woman, child, whatever. It's like, we take for granted just rest. I looked at his videos, and I don't know the cause of his death or why he decided, that was his best solution. But he was working hard on his family life, dancing every day. Like, when your mind is busy, sometimes we don't get enough rest. Like, it's simple as just rest. Okay. We work these jobs from sun up to sundown. Then we all got to go home and be something for someone else, right? Whether you're a husband or you're a wife or you're a boyfriend or you're a girlfriend, your cousin, your auntie, you're taking care of the elders, you're taking care of each other, you're taking care of kids. Someone's always pulling on us at all the time. So even when we're resting, we're not resting. So rest is important, people.
Intentional rest.
Yes, some of us are not getting 8 hours, and if we get 4, we're happy. 4 is not enough. So rest and let each other rest. Like, I know when I was growing up, no matter what time we went to bed, my grandmother would be trying to wake us up to get up because nobody should be asleep, right? Past a certain hour, because grandma would be up, clean the whole house, cook the whole meal, and she ready to go to bed at 8. Well, you probably was up at 3 a.m., but she's getting you up at 7 because that's when the sun came out.
Right.
We're not getting enough rest because we're busy, we're swiping, we're this, we're that. So I would say intentionally get some rest. Yes. How can you do that without taking a pill? Stop taking these narcotics, y'all. They putting stuff in it, okay? They have these YouTube healing frequencies. Yes. They work like magic, okay? If you haven't done it, get to know these things. They will put you in the best sleep ever. Exercise, make time to exercise. We're not moving around enough. We go from our car to our job, sit at our job all day, get back in the car. We're not walking, we're not moving, we're sedentary. So if we kind of moved a little bit more, maybe we would be a little tired by the time we get to lay down. Right. Eating healthier, that is self-care. Put down these fried foods and all these things that's raising your blood pressure, your cholesterol. Look, we're middle-aged people at this point. That's what I keep telling my kids. Everybody's upset about that, but we are. We are. Let's be clear. But some of us, look, for us to be middle agers, these younger people look way older than we do. So that goes to show that whatever we've done with this next generation, we haven't given. Some of them have the tools to do better and be better, but a lot of them have not only our bad habits, but the microwavable.
Yes,
instant food, instant gratification, instant. Okay. So we're doing everything instant. We're not really taking care of ourselves when we go and choose something to eat. We're not taking care of ourselves when we don't go out and be active, when we're just sitting around doing this all day and we wonder why it's more obese people than not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not obese, but I'm not healthy. You know why I'm not healthy? Because I'm not moving.
There's that self-honesty we're talking about. You got to be honest with yourself. Why is it this happening? Well, what are you doing for it not to happen? You got to be honest with yourself for sure. You know,
Yes.
one of the things about rest and intentional rest, and this is something, if you've been to any of my events, or you've been to one of my workshops, I talk about this a lot, and it's mind dumping. Like before you go to bed, like make this your night routine before you go to bed. And you can start with 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, but just sit and write. Write. Let things come out of you. It could be grocery shop, tie my shoes, do laundry, go to sleep, take a bath. It's not that it needs to make sense, and it's not that it needs to be journal. It's just things that are on your mind, writing it down, and getting it out of you, so that when you lay down, we deal with a world of things all day. And then what do? We come home and we take everything in that day and we lay it on our pillows and we go to sleep.
Yep.
So you want to sleep with the entire day, and you're wondering why the next morning you still feel tired. You haven't cleared out anything. You're just taking the day, and then guess what? You get up to start that over again.
You do.
And it's not helping. We have to intentionally rest.
I love it.
Yeah, my youngest son, my 13-year-old, if I'm saying like, oh, I need to really take a nap right now. If he comes in my room and I have not done that, he will take my laptop. He'll go, no, Mom, you need to lay down. You need to lay down.
I love it. But you also taught him that. It's like we have to start teaching that it's okay to get some rest. Because again, we come from people that used to tell us that resting is being lazy. You know, you have to rest. Girl, if I get a nap in the middle of the day, I'm excited. I am happy and I am unbothered, and I can do the rest of my day and night, and I sleep like a baby at night. But a lot of people don't have that as their story, you know? So let's be kinder, gentler people. Stop saying negative stuff when you see people doing things the way that you don't do it. If you see someone take a midday nap, don't call them anything. Say, wow, I'm so happy for you that you were able to lay down and get some rest. Your body must have needed it. That's great.
And remember too, rest is not all about sleep. Sometimes just not doing anything. Like just not doing anything is resting. And can you intentionally put that into your day?
Yes.
You know, the other thing I want to talk about, these hours always go by so fast, is self-investments. Invest in yourself in some way, somehow. I know many of us go on vacations, but like between now and the end of the year, map out what you want to do in the new year that's going to be an investment in you. What books will you read?
Yes.
What conferences will you attend?
Yes.
What Phenomenal Women's Brunch will you attend? Like, what are you going to do that's going to support your emotional, mental, and spiritual, physical health? So those are the things, some of the things we talk about. Like, yeah, we say self-care. Oh, I got my nails done. I got my hair done. But what is that doing for your mental and spiritual health? So make sure that you're finding things to invest in yourself. Many of you know that I am doing the first Henomenal Women's Retreat in October of 2023. You know, should you come to mine? Of course. But are there other retreats? There we go. We have it on the screen there. Thank you. You know, October 6th through 8th in Palm Springs, California is going to be an absolute beautiful retreat. Beautiful 3 days, 2 nights of simply reconnecting to who you are. So leave out the fact that you're a mom, an auntie, a wife, a worker, entrepreneur, all of that. Who are you? And we want to spend that time pouring into you. And since I already have you here, I'm going to announce Mika Morris is one of my facilitators for the brunch. So what you guys are seeing here, you're going to get that times 100. So you do want to get reserve your spot for the retreat. Now, I'm not selfish. So if there are other things that you find where you're like, you know what, this fits me, please do it for yourself.
Right.
Do something, invest in yourself, and decide now, what am I going to do in 2023 that is just for me? Just for me. So, as we get ready to close out, Nika, what are some lasting words of wisdom, some phenomenal gems and jewels that you want to leave people with as we prepare for our 2023?
I just want to say this. There is so many free things that you can get into. Some of us want to do something different with our lives. YouTube University has a plethora, okay, of classes, of knowledge. Some of y'all need to know how to invest in your finances, in your financial, life. You need to know how to manage your money a little bit better. Some of us want to just learn how to do art and paint and do things like that. Go on YouTube and find an outlet for yourself. The
Mhm.
stress that you're going to alleviate in doing some of these out of the box things that you kind of wanted to do but put yourself on a back burner, it's so many ways to do it. It is so many ways. It's so many classes. You can go to the local community college, pick a class, do a 6-week class. Most of those classes are free right now. If
Mhm.
you go in your state. So it is just so many ways to do something just for you unapologetically, and it'll make you feel better in the long run. So I would leave that as a jewel. Like, challenge yourself to do something just for you, something that can mentally grow you, physically grow you, and maybe even financially grow you. Because if you take that class and now you have a certificate, you can charge for whatever thing that you're doing.
Right.
So, and maybe it's just to get an outlet. Maybe you just want to go meet some different people. Maybe you're a mom that sits at home all day with your kids and you have no adult friends or people that's like you sitting at home with you. And this class is just going to be your outlet where you get to sit and talk with other like-minded adults.
Right.
So find something that you can just grow from and learn from, and watch how more of those things start to enter your life. Some of us are stuck right where we're at because we get up and we're robots. We're doing exactly the same thing we did for the last 10 years. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't understand why we're stuck. Well, we're stuck because you put yourself in this routine and you don't have to.
Right.
You're doing it because you've seen your mother do it, who saw her mother do it. Do something different.
Right. Yes.
Pick your family up and move if that's what you've always wanted to do. Go move. So I would challenge everyone to do something that they've always wanted to do, but they let fear keep them right where they were at. So start walking in faith and let God open a whole bunch of doors, and watch how your life just grow and be.
Yes. Yes, yes. And speaking of that, let me tell y'all real quick. It was 1:47 Sunday morning, and God was giving me downloads. And I'm trying to sleep through this because it's 1:47 in the morning. And I could feel God saying, you got to get up and write this down. So I got up and I did. I sent myself an email so I could remember. And then I had a talk with God. I was like, God, at 1:47 in the morning, Tasha sleeping. So, you know, let's talk to me at 1:47 in the afternoon, but I say that to say, like, when you're an open portal for God, he will just download so much into you
Yes.
at any given moment, any given time. And what he gave me at 1:47 in the morning is going to really support me going forward in my business next year. So just keep yourself open, keep
Yes.
yourself honest, keep yourself surrounded by people. So there are three things that I want you guys to walk away with today as we close out our last She Is Shenomenal for 2023. Is one, write that letter to yourself for the close of this year. You want to write that letter, date it for December 31st, 2023, and write that letter as though everything you wanted, everything you want and desire now has already happened. How are you celebrating? What are you feeling like? How are you walking? How has this changed your life? That's one of the things that you want to do. Number two, see that vision for yourself and start to operate in that vision. Treat yourself as though you have the things that you want. Walk in the light of the things that you want. Walk in the spirit of the things that you want, because it's going to open you up. And then my third thing is, women, men, please find ways to invest in yourself in 2023, especially if you've never done that. Attend conferences, retreats, workshops. There's a lot of free online webinars. There's YouTube University. Find ways to invest in yourself. So those are my 3 tips for this year. Mika, before we go, how can people follow you, work with you, reach out to you? If you follow me, then trust me, you're going to see her all the time because she is part of my Shenomenal team. So you'll see her a lot with anything with me. But how can people follow you?
On Instagram, I'm Mika Morris. Facebook, I'm Mika Bracey, and TamikaMorris.com.
Perfect, beautiful. So you guys make sure you reserve your spot at the retreat so you can get all of this energy times 100. It's going to sell out, and it is going to be
sell out.
Yes, it is going to be magnificent. So we have come to the end. Shout out to my beautiful older sister, Tish Smith. Happy birthday. Wishing Tish. Yes, wishing you many, many more. May this year bring you all of the abundance, expected and unexpected. But happy birthday. And for everybody, thank you for rocking with me and being with me. This was my first year, started in May. So we are going to elevate She Is Shenomenal for 2023, bringing you guys more incredible, beautiful women and the occasional Henomenal man. I wish you guys love, joy, peace, and I wish you guys to do and be all that you desire in this world. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you guys in 2023.
Bye.